Hey guys, good morning. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's 7 a.m. here. And I have nothing to go with the coffee. That's gonna be later. Okay, so just let's get a sound check here. And can you hear the synth here? Yeah. All right, guys, so this is going to be an experiment. I'm going to try and have these streams, these live streams on a daily basis. And every day we'll cover, for 15 minutes or so, we'll cover a different synth or a different technique or a different plugin, but we'll start off with synthesizers, and that will give you kind of an overview of different synthesizers, you know, in a glance, what they can do, how they sound, you know, what's the differences, and that's it. So we'll have fun along the way. So I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to wait for any more people. We'll just get started. That's going to be the format. I'm just going to start with this daily routine. And so yeah, let's get started. So first of all, what is SynthMaster? Why do you want it? So first of all, in my opinion, this is probably one of the best synthesizers for the price, and I'll put the link. It's going to be an affiliate link for a plugin boutique, so you can see for yourself. I think it goes for $59 right now, and it's pretty amazing considering the fact that it's so versatile and so much in it. So first of all, what you get with it is a ton of presets. So even if you don't know anything about how to program a synth, this is really a good solid bunch of presets, and it covers a lot. Now I'm having issues showing you the default because I already purchased a lot of preset packs. So you can see here that I did buy a lot of packs here, and you can see that you can also have more. Now one thing to note just before we get started is that they are running right now. They are running their yearly annually song contest. So if you already own it, and if you're or planning to buy it or whatever, so you can participate in this awesome competition, and I do it every year. So yeah, let's get started. So the idea here is that you have first of all 2 layers. So we have layer 1 and layer 2, and let me just change something here in layer 2, and we'll take and we'll change this, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing a little bit later, but this is Wavetable. So now layer 1 is just a simple sawtooth, and layer 2 is this bluffable wavetable. And you can turn on and off each of the layers separately, and they are identical. So whatever you do whatever you do on or whatever you can do on layer 1, you can also do on layer 2, and it's just two different engines. Now, in each of these layers, you have 4 sections or four panes. So this is the routing and overall control, the first one, the top left. And you can see that you also have 2 oscillators here. So you have oscillator 1 and oscillator 2. And you can turn them both on, and you can also change here. So below here, that the second pane here, this is the oscillator tab. And as you can see, it's pretty comprehensive, and we'll go through this real quick in a moment. So you have 2 oscillators and 4 modulators. So if you know anything about FM synthesis or anything related, or a phase synthesis, then you can appreciate that. You can basically take one of these modes and insert it either before the oscillator or after. So I can have, for example, this. And I can tune each of these oscillators differently. So we can do a lot of things here, and we'll get to that soon. So again, here on the top, what we have is the routing. We have the oscillator, and let's turn this off. And we have 2 filters. The filters are over here, and there are 2 filters, and you can set them in 3 different ways. You can either have them in series, that's the default, parallel, meaning everything sums up and then splits to different filter. And you can also have split, so oscillator 1 goes to filter 1 and oscillator 2 goes to filter 2. And all of these oscillators and modulators, you know, after they go into the filters, they will go into a series of effects. So we have 5 slots here, and each of these slots can host 1 effect. And let me show you that. So I can right click, and you can choose any of these effects. So it's pretty cool. You have a lot of effects. You don't have to use the default one. So if you want to have an insert of a phaser here, that, you know, that's fine. So you have a phaser. Now you can only have 1 of each. So since I chose the phaser here for the first one, it just went away from the original slot. So I can have, I don't know, chorus, for example. Pretty cool. And you also can adjust all of these effects here. So on top here, we also have arpeggiator or sequencer and effects. These are the insert effects, and as you can see here, we have the 5 effects that we chose: phaser, then we have lo-fi, ensemble, and equalizer. I'm just using the phaser and the chorus. And here you can actually do you know, mix and change all the parameters. So I'm not going into the details here, but that's the idea. So now let's go back to our layer, okay, and just go over everything that we have here in a glance. So we have different modes here for the voices, either polyphony, mono, legato, and we can turn the slide. And we also have all kinds of other controls here for the voices. So if I have more voices, I can spread the detuning, have some cutoff on the highs, and so on. So that's the idea here. And of course we also have the options to turn on or off the arpeggiator, and there are 3 different modes for this. There's off, on, and record, which we can record the order of the notes. And I'll touch real quick, I'll show you the arpeggiator in a moment, but we'll get to that. That's pretty cool. And then let's go over to the filter here. We'll turn on the filter, and as you can see we have 2 filters, and there's a choice of algorithm. There's a digital, which is more precise and clean, and we also have filter 2, and you can just place them anywhere. And of course for each of these filters you can choose the type of filter, and you have a lot of choices here. So you have a low pass, high pass, band pass, band reject, or and so on. So there's a lot of options here. Now I can turn off the layer 2 because it's just more noise. And what now we can also do is use the modulators. So here on the right bottom we have everything that is related to envelopes, LFOs, and anything in between. So in 15 minutes it's really not enough time to cover everything, but I'll show you some stuff. So first of all, out of the box, the default ADSR envelope is ADSR 1, and you can see it here in the routing table. So this is the routing matrix, sorry. So you can see here that right now it's automatic, and it shows me only targets that actually have any kind of modulation. Let's choose none, and you'll see that we have just an empty table here with some assignments. So we can see that ADSR envelope 1 is assigned to voice volume of layer 1, and also for voice volume of layer 2. Now the layers are separate. So let me just get my coffee here. Sorry. And we can adjust this to whatever we want. So this is the attack time. And we can set the release. Now if we want to do any kind of assignment, this is pretty easy also. So for example, if I want to do something with the filter and I want to automate the cutoff to do something like this. So this is pretty easy. So I can choose either the voice LFO, which is the sort of a global LFO assignment here, or the global here, or the voice LFO, and I have choice of 2 LFOs here. So it's doing pretty much the same. So let's just select the first one, and what I'll do now is drag this and drop it on the cutoff. So once I do this, you'll see that little arch here. You see the coloring here, and that's my modulation range. So I can change the position, the initial position, and click and drag down or up, and you'll see that we have the cutoff modulation range. Of course, I can change the speed. And we need to sync. What else? So I can also do this bipolar. And when we do bipolar, you can see that the arch here is going also, left to right, and we're just going back and forth. according to whatever we set here. So this is bipolar, and I can set this to a different wave shape. There's even a step sequencer, so sort of step LFO, and we can change the way it behaves here, and we can change the number of steps, and we can loop it for a few times. For example, if I want to play a note, and then as I play the note, it will loop this LFO for a certain amount of time. And I can introduce delay, noise, and so on. So this is pretty versatile. So you can already see the power of SynthMaster. So already we have a lot going here, and we have two oscillators here. Both of them are working together, and I can just click and turn on and off and design this. And I'll, just before we end this session in a few minutes, I'll show you some example of presets, so you can have a taste. Now let's also have a look at the different types of oscillators, and this is where things get really interesting, because this is the basic or sort of virtual analog type of oscillators, but we also have additive. So what is additive? Additive is, and let me turn off oscillator 2. Additive is basically splitting, taking all of taking the idea of the oscillator and split it into 8 different oscillators. So we have just a whole bunch of oscillators right now, and I can turn them all on, and I can set each of them to either integer or semitones. So for example, I can take the second one and set it to 4, and definitely that will create a chord. Let's just turn off this and I can turn on one more, and let's go back to the default here, and we'll have something more usable. And I'll go to the additive, and we'll add another one here, and we'll set it to 4 semitones. And I can set them to different panning settings or whatever I want. So that's the idea here, and we also have Wavetable. So this is not only a virtual analog kind of synthesizer. We also have Wavetable, and you have a lot of choices here. I mean, that's a lot of options, and of course we have the index here. And we can automate this, and we can flick between those with the left and right. Yeah, Jason here in the chat is saying that we have we can use it with Rolly keyboard, and yeah, I saw that, and one day maybe I'll have a Rolly keyboard, and then I'll have fun with it. So the question is, does it support MPE? Well, I need to check that. So as you can see, it's really a SynthMaster, and as we approach the end of this session, because again, this is just a morning session for me, and you guys need to get some sleep, or again, depends on time. But let's see one or two last ideas here. And I'm planning to recreate my my tutorial. So there is a tutorial in my channel, so check it out. I already have more than 200 videos in my channel, so sometimes you might have missed something. Check it out. So just as a glance, we have an arpeggiator here. We can turn it on and we can select the mode, so it can be arpeggiate, or it can be also chord, just playing the chords, and I can set the bass time here, swing, and I can show you some presets. So if we go to the arpeggiated preset and just select something, and we can have a quick look here at the arpeggiator. And so we also have other modes. For example, we can have a sequence, and here you can just build your own sequence. Sorry. So yeah, I'll look it up. I'm going to check it out. So anyway, that's the idea here. And last, the effects. So we touched just briefly in the insert effects, but if you go up here, we have 6 different buttons. So we have choice of layer 1, layer 2, working on the LFOs, and we have a browser, a preset information if we save our own or load something, and the effects. So here it gets a little bit messy, but I'll try and give you just a quick look here. So first of all, we have 2 buses and 2 layers. So the 2 layers are the insert effects. Okay, so if I'll go to layer 1 and select here, instead of distortion, let's just take compressor 1, and in layer 2 I'll select tremolo, and we'll go to the effects. Then you'll see that we have different, these are the insert effects. Okay, you can see compressor for the first one, and tremolo on the other one. So the bus is a parallel effect, and as you can see on the right side here, this is the routing. So you can see the layer FX routing, layer 1 and layer 2. These are the insert effects. Then we have sort of a mixer here for a bus 1 and bus 2. So this is bus 1 and this is bus 2. It's empty right now, and as you can see on the right here, it's absolutely empty. So if I'll select, right click, select lo-fi here, turn it on, so you can see that we have bus 2 here. Okay, so now we have something. Right, so this is the idea here. So again, we have 2 layer effect inserts, and then 2 buses which we can just blend in for layer 1 or layer 2. Let me just check the chat here. Yeah, I have no idea what is Jason. What is sensomorph? Maybe I'll check it out. So that was SynthMaster 2. And that's it for now. And again, if you want to support me and you're planning to buy SynthMaster1, appreciate if you do it through my affiliate link, but you don't have to do it. And check out my tutorials also on other synthesizers. And I'll see you tomorrow with something new. So we'll see what it is. You can comment in the chat or in the video if you know, maybe we'll go for SynthMaster1. Okay, that's another synthesizer by KV Audio, KV311, SynthMaster1. So pretty cool and pretty easy to learn synthesizer. So if you're looking for really a good sounding synthesizer, really cheap for the effects and everything, and very, very effective. Okay, so that is it. Thank you so much for joining this morning, evening, or midnight. And leave comments, of course. And I'll see you tomorrow in the next episode of the Synth Sessions. Thank you very, very much. Bye-bye.